Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Digimon video. Today, Locals Finals, EX3 format. On the left we have Thomas playing Dragon Linkz. So it's like the Metallicadramon, Volcanicdramon deck. And on the right we have myself playing D-Brigade. Deck profile is up on my channel. I'll link it somewhere, so if you want to check it out, you can. Really think the deck is very, very good. I definitely think it's a tier 1 contender, not gonna lie. This is basically the start you want to have, evolve into Commandramon and then go into Kazu. On the left, there is a little bit of glare in the racing area, but other than that, it should be fine. So we see Gurumon go up into, what's it called, the Jazzamon. Full disclosure, I'm not super familiar with all the cards from the Dragon Linkz deck yet. I know this one, like both the level 4s on play, they add one of the Dragon type basically, and then one of the Hina Tamers. And you really need a Hina Tamer in this deck to actually start doing stuff. Because it will allow you to trigger the unplay effects when digivolving. So you don't have to pay like 12 to get off D-Digivolve 1. But yeah, we see the commander going to Seusdra and actually deciding not to swing here since... if I do and evolve into Tankdramon, then potentially he can evolve into one of his guys and then run over the Tankdramon, and I'd rather just keep them on the field. So just playing a little bit safe here since he doesn't have that much setup yet anyway. And to actually hit Seusdramon here of the Tankdra effect, which is very nice because that's like the best target you can hit of him. So already having level 4 and level 5 on the field, not something that happens a lot in the old D-Brigade deck. Now we see, man, I really don't know all the names, but yeah, we see the Jazzardmon, I think, swing here. It survives because it hits into Commandra. And he has evolved into the, it's not Lavagiritamon, Lavorvomon, I think that's it. And now he's playing another of the Jazzardmon, which is the searcher for the Dragon type or the Hina. And we see him actually take D-Brigade here, which is like one of the game enders of the deck, I want to say. You can digicross it for make the cost 3 basically, and then it has rush and you can delete a 13,000 DP guy. Like essentially that's what it does. Like I'm not sure if it will come down in the match, but if it will, then you'll see it on the screen. You can really affect, and I'll get into it a little bit more. But yeah, hitting Pagu here, and then first swinging with the Seusdra and triggering Kazu to dig a little bit deeper to potentially hit something better to evolve over the Pagu. And yeah, doing a little think there what I want to discard. Usually it's good to discard the D-Brigade cards, right? Because it gives allows you to set up for your Dark Zone plays. Hitting into a Hina here. Hina is White Tamer. And if your opponent controls a Digimon in play, then you gain 1 memory at the start of your turn. And then you can tap it to trigger your unplayed effects on Digivolve, basically. Now we'll see Darkdramon come down. Putting 3 D-Brigades to the top, so the cost will be 2. So we'll still keep turn by evolving to Darkdramon. And then, drawing into once the commander is put on top. And now we have, I think we stacked 2 forecasts. And that's gonna be nice because we're gonna swing with the Darkdramon, then use Tankdramon, which is when the D-Brigade attacks you can mail 2 and then play out a Commandramon from among them. And then Darkdramon says you can delete a Digimon with the cost or less of the Digimon of a D-Brigade you play out, right? So we get to delete one to 4 cost, and we delete the stack, basically the one with the Gurumon. Then evolve to Commandra, and because of the Seusdra inheritable, our 5k Commandra will also get rush, and be able to hit over his Jazzardmon, and then we hit it with Fireball. So his security there was quite nice, Hina and Fireball, and Fireball allows him to draw 2 cards since there's no Digimon with 3000 DP on the field. And then we're ending turn by just hard playing the BT4 Commandramon, the best one, right? And he will go to 2 because of Hina, since there is a Digimon in play. In fact, there are 4 Digimon in play. So looking quite good for Commandra here, unless Def X gets dropped, then... and honestly, even then, I feel like Commandra would probably still win here. Since the Tankdramon would remain on the field and then the Commandramon would come out. But we see the D-Brigade. He's going to Digicross with 5 Dragon something Sar, what like all the words, right? All the types. To make the cost 3. which will put the memory still to my side 1. However, the inheritable of the, I think it's Linkz says if a Digimon is deleted, then you can you actually gain 1 memory. Oh, and the Digimon is an unplay effect, that's it. And D-Brigade, basically it allows you to delete a 3000 DP Digimon on play, and then for every Digimon you digicross with, I'm pretty sure, or in its sources, you get to raise that amount by 2000, so, you know, you get to delete a 13,000, and that's big enough to get rid of the Dark Draw here. Then he gets to keep turn because he deleted the Digimon, and he's going to be able to swing here. He makes a little bit of a misplay here, like potentially if he... oh yeah, he's also going to be able to out the Commandra with... one of the inheritables, and the Commander also misses here, so that's good for him. However, he decided to attack the security here instead of one of the Digimon that's on the field. And, like, I think it wouldn't really have mattered, since even if he did delete one of the Digimon on the field, I would have had 2 attackers and Dark Dragon in hand anyway, the old one, to finish off the game. However, now he has 2 security and I have 3 attacks at the end of his turn, so it's going to be game regardless, unless... I hit into Fireball or a Crimson Blaze or something like that, which I'm also going to play around by keeping the commander around raising. So like even if I do hit into Crimson Blaze, then I still have a commander to work with next turn, go to 4 because of Kazu, because he actually ended up passing the turn here. He didn't have any play at all, so pretty unlucky. And then yeah, I'm going to attack with the Sealstra first, then with the Commandra. There is no Crimson Blaze or anything like that, so that means that since there is 5 D-Brigades in the trash, that's going to be game with the Rush Dark Draw. And it really surprises me how fast the deck can set up the trash with D-Brigades. I really assumed it would be much slower, but it's going super fast, also thanks to the the mill effect of Tankdramon. And we didn't see it here, but Pride Memory Boost is also very nice for that. And we are playing a lot of D-Brigade cards in this list, of course. I think there's like more than 30 of them, so... pretty much every card that's hitting the trash is going to be a D-Brigade. And yeah, we see the best start that I mentioned last game as well. Just Commandra and Kazu. Grimon being hedged here, going to evolve into a Vorvomon. I think both level 3s have an effect, like when you play Hina, the Vorvomon says you can delete a Digimon of 3000 DP or less, and then the Jessamon gains 1 memory, so that's quite nice. You essentially play Hina for 2. He's going to play down the Agumon from BT1 here. That's review the top 5, and then you can add a Tamer to your hand. Because again, Hina, you need to have it for the deck to function. And we do see Hina being hit here by the Lavorvamon. And he also has lots of options for what other card he's going to add. I think he added Jezzardmon, if I'm not mistaken. However, he does put me to quite a lot here. I do play the Kazu first, so I get to cycle a little bit extra, because now I get to, you know, resolve Kazu 2 times to draw and discard. And set up that trash, or just, you know, cycle the hand to get to, I don't want to say combo pieces, but you know what I mean. Going to pitch a Commandra there, and then pitch the 3rd Kazu, because if you have 2 Kazu on the field already, there is, like, not that much of a point to establish a 3rd one. It also plays into Defex even harder, and as you see, we're going to be playing Izzy here. So we're going to be starting at 3 every turn, possibly even 5, if we do have a Machine or Cyborg in hand. We saw Dark Dragon being added by Pagumon as well, and now we see Haguru being stacked to the top. Haguru is such a good card. Again, also just helps you trash cards and gain card advantage. Tom's going to put, or keep his Digimon in raising there, swing with the Agumon, hit into Dark Dragon, and Dark Dragon getting... put to the treasure is quite nice, because it means I can, if I have access to BT4 Darkdramon, I can put it to the top of the deck to set up for plays later, which is very nice. Very cool synergy of both the Darkdramons here, where you can like put them back to the top of the deck to get access to them. However, we do see in the hand that I do already have the new the EX3 Darkrai in my hand, so it won't be that relevant in this case, but definitely can be. Going to play the Haguru there, pitch Darkrai to draw 2. So that must mean I already have access to multiple of the BT4 Darkrai in my hand. And then just going to evolve into the Sealstra here. There's not that much use to play out more small Digimon, because the Dragon Linkz deck actually can out them with card effects quite easily. So it's a little bit better to build up in the racing, unless you're playing down the old, the BT4 Commandramon, of course. since that's a floater anyway. But now we're just setting up for a push with the Sealsdramon in the back next turn, and we will be having access to 5 memory. So that means we can potentially do a tank dry into dark dry push. We see the Lavogaritamon here deleting the Hagurumon with its on-play effect triggered by Hina, so on Digivolve. And then he can also play Hina, which he did. And now he also triggers the Jezzardmon effect with the Hina on evolve as well. So yeah, going to go to 5. And going to have access to some more cycle again. Going to be swinging with the Sustra here. Going Kazu, draw 1 discard. And I think I'm digging for Tankdramon here, if I remember correctly. Pitching EX3 Commandra there, it looked like. However, I'm fanning out my my trash a little bit too far, so at this point it becomes a little bit hard to actually see what I'm discarding. Looks to be, well, it looked like it was going to be the BT3 Commandra, but now I couldn't see it. But we'll probably, if it becomes relevant, we'll see later. And then we see DefX being dropped for 8 here. Which actually wipes the entire field, which definitely a very strong play. DefX is such a good card, right? I mean, everybody knows it at this point how strong this card is. And some decks just literally can't play around it. Honestly, D-Brigade is also one of those decks. Unless you're playing Chikurumon, I guess. Which I'm not in this list. I am just on the Commandras and Hagurumon. Because I simply think Hagurumon is too good not to play. However, as you see, I do have 5 cards on the field now. So if my opponent would have a DefX, that could definitely be problematic. Because it would out the Sealsdramon. We're going to see Vorphamon come down here. We actually also like to point out that in the racing, there was a Jezzardmon evolved. Which would have been a Jezzamon like Thomas had it in hand. But they just switched him around on accident, which isn't that big of a deal. And now we see he played the Vorphamon, so after that he could play the Metallicadramon to get rid of my Sealsdramon, and then the DefX would delete the Vorphamon, right? So he valued keeping the Metallicadramon on the field over the 3 memory, which is fair. I also know that like one of the game pushes for this deck is dropping the Ragnarlordmon. I don't think we saw it yet, but it is in the deck, and it is one of the win conditions. But now we'll be seeing D-Brigade digging for, pitching another Darkdramon and digging for that Tankdramon, which I think we drew here, but now I'm not sure if I have a Sealsdramon. Oh, but I will, of course, because I can just put it to the top with the Darkdramon. So this is like one of the fun things about the deck, right? Once you get to the late game and you get to put cards to the top of your deck with the Darkdramon, it becomes quite skill intensive, which I think is a lot of fun. In the past, well, of course, every deck rewards you in some way for a good technical play, but now it actually does it more so than it used to. And the first 2 cards I stack, I'm going to be able to draw with the Kazus here, which you're going to see. So I'm going to like draw the Sealstra there. Then pitch one of the BT4 Commandra, because I think I had 3 in hand, so you don't need that many. And then draw the other Darktra as well, the other BT4 Darktra, and pitch the Darktra. And then Darktra is going to hit into Metallicadramon here. Nice alt art. And not going to survive the battle. But still looking really good for D-Brigade here. DefX going to swing over Agumon. And then at this point I think it's probably safe to just build up a Susra in the back. Because I'm quite sure I do have access to the Tankdramon. And then play down, yeah, exactly, the Floaty Commandramon. So even if he outs it, it will hit a Commandramon for sure. Because we know what's on top of the deck. Which should be, I think, 2 of the EX3 Commandramon. But yeah, the game's pretty much over here, right? I'm not really sure what Dragon League could even try to do here to get back into the game. I think Thomas misses a draw here of the, what's it called? Lavorvomon, but shouldn't matter too much, right? He needs to out so many things, and there's like almost 100% another Darktra in the hand to go for that last push, even if somehow the entire board gets outed. But still, very nice job of Thomas to make it to the finals with Dragon Linkz. Haven't really seen it in action that much. I definitely think it's a very cool concept of a deck, and super unlucky here, even hitting into the ultimate flare with the Metallicadramon attack, and that should basically seal the game if it wasn't sealed already, right? And I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a scoop here. Because there's just nothing to do. Yeah, showing the Dark Gaia Force here, but he can't even play it. And even if he could, like, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. And yeah, that's going to be the game. Yeah, D-Brigade, very, very nice deck. GG.